So Joe Davies, if you'd like to come forward and give us a rundown on what's happening in New Zealand.
Hi, my name's Jo. I'm the CEO stroke operations manager of Prader-Willi Syndrome Association New Zealand. And I think everyone's got to the stage of a day where they've had enough of listening to slides, so I'm really going to flick through these just to get to the pictures and the video at the end, which will be much more interesting. So very quickly, we were established in 1989. So, oh, sorry, I haven't done that right. So we're been around about 35 years, and we forgot to celebrate our birthday. We should have done that back 5 years ago for 30 years, but it's just the way it is. We just thought it was always stuff to do, and we don't stop to do things like that. I'll just skip to our structure here, so you can see there's me in the middle there. We have Cindy, who does training for us, and we now have someone who does young families support, which is great because that's something I find really hard to keep on top of everything else. Oh, wrong one. Oh, how do I go back? Red one. Sorry. This is our mission, which actually I won't read through this. It's probably very similar to what you do here in Australia. Sorry. So advocacy, education and support is what we do that sums up really everything that we're about. So for advocacy, we provide individual advocacy services to families, but we also advocate nationally on issues that affect people with Prader-Willi and their families. So that might be education issues, it might be medicines access, it's a number of different things. We also provide information and education. We do that through training workshops. We also have lots of information on our website, and we try to keep that up to date. We support families in lots of different ways, which I'll talk about more in a minute through the pictures. We provide support on requests, and people can contact us, but we also do it through lots of different events. And we have an Adults Living with Prader-Willi Syndrome leadership group as well, which is similar to the Aula group here in Australia. So I think we are roughly connected with about 83% of our population with Prader-Willi in New Zealand. And I worked this out by looking at our latest national population, and if you use 1 in 30,000, it works out at about 83% because we, the number of people we've got in our database. So there's obviously a few people that we're not connected with, which is the same with all associations, I think. But what we've tried to do is get information to the hospitals and to genetic services. So this is our new parent pack, and we send this out to all the hospitals across the country and to the genetic service teams. And then the idea is that they give it to families when a child is first given a diagnosis. So in the new parent pack, there's a whole load of information packs we give them on things like starting growth hormone, nutrition, all those early years things you need to know, where to get support, what you're entitled to, even advice for grandparents, that sort of thing. And we also include these bits, these pamphlets and booklets, which you can see here, including Libby Johnson's book, which she kindly let us print in New Zealand and share with families. So one of the things we try to focus on is age-based support. So we run events for young families, and these might involve talks on things like nutrition and getting support and where to get support from. But it's also about connection, mainly about connecting families together in those early days. And then we've done teens and tweens weekends, which are really popular with the teen groups, not just the people with Prader-Willi, but also the parents. Parents going through that transition time, they have lots to talk about at that time. And we also try and have some time where the the teens who come along get some time to sort of watch a movie or something whilst we talk with the parents about things, and they can ask each other questions. We've realised that transition is a big area of need amongst families. That whole process of getting into residential support system can be quite tricky, and there's lots of problems that occur at that time. People get to crisis points and so on. So this year we're doing a focused event on transition, which is happening in October. When families reach their son or daughter of Prader-Willi reaches adulthood, we hold events for adults living with Prader-Willi syndrome, and there's some photos you can see there of some of the events we've held. I'll talk more about that in a minute. We also do all ages support. So every 2 years we hold a family support camp. That's providing we have the funding, of course, which we have had up until now, but fingers crossed we keep that. So these are great because they enable families, siblings, support person who attends with an adult, people with Prader-Willi, of course, as well, all to connect together, and everyone networks, shares, and then just has fun. So we don't provide formal sessions during those camps. It's all just about mutual support. Oh, I didn't move the slide, sorry. There you go. So there's some pictures from our camps. So yeah, we're quite lucky in New Zealand. We get quite nice places to hold those. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off talking about all PWS or AL PWS group, which stands for Adults Living with Prader-Willi Syndrome. So we established the group in 2018. We held a first meeting at one of our support camps. And since that time, we have held 4 more in-person meetings. 2 have been at family support camps, and 2 have been dedicated weekends for adults living with Prader-Willi syndrome. And you can see a picture there of the first group meeting in 2018, and the other picture is of the weekend we held last year, which had 21 adults come along to, which was great. So these are some of the things that ALPWS Group have achieved. They've produced recommendations for support staff. They have contributed to the development of a new resource for peers and housemates, and I'll show you that in a moment. They have produced advice for school-aged pupils with Prader-Willi syndrome, and they discussed ideas for a peer support program. That was something that they felt was really important because they remembered those difficult days during their own school years, and they wanted to try and do something to help provide advice for those going through that now. Last year, we also did some filming with our group, and they worked on becoming an advisory panel and answering questions for parents. And we're still working on editing those videos, but we should be able to put them out soon. And then they also did some role play work, but they prepared role plays based on difficult situations and then how they had managed to get through those, or how things could have been handled differently, not just by themselves, but by the support person that was supporting them. And lastly, we have the group have elected a representative to join our board at PWSA. And so, this is one of the information pamphlets that the group have contributed towards. So you can see the page on the inside page on the right there. It's got lots of things they wanted people to know about living with Prader-Willi syndrome and how to support them. So the future of the association in New Zealand, we really need to work on connecting our medical community and trying to improve clinical standards of care, and which are good in some places, but it really depends on where you live, which I think is the same in probably to some extent here. So we really want to develop that expertise and perhaps connect to the centre of expertise here rather than, trying to do separate things. We could all sort of work together. We also, there's major issues with mental health support, so we really want to do something in that area and try and improve the expertise of psychiatrists working with people with Prader-Willi syndrome. We also we work with a lot of residential providers, but we want to try and promote more PWS-specific accommodation options in New Zealand. We do have some, but I think we need more. Okay, I'll try and skip through. I think I'll just go to the video now, because I think I've talked long enough. Hopefully this works. Will it be on the next one?
Welcome to the Prader-Willi Conference in Auckland. It's a very lovely day. I'm here from Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome to Auckland's motel. It's very cloudy, and I'm from Christchurch, Prader-Willi Association. Welcome, come in.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Joe. If anyone's looking for any information on Prader-Willi syndrome, New Zealand have had it together for a very long time. Their website and their Facebook page and everything about New Zealand has it all together. 10 years ago at my very first conference, it was New Zealand who helped me. So they're great.